coming with the click that just left you stuck. Didn't know about the two men, so you pressed your luck in the house, cause I'm coming with that murderous lick. Before I was old, I was told not to trust the snitch, cause that's the right lay. They would try to disrespect your payday. Now, have you ever heard about the fools on the one-way called Earl? We rollin' busters up like curls. We dip in and dip out, getting followed by girls. Taking them on the mission just to show them what was poppin'. Before the night is over, bras and draws will be dropping. We flip-flopping, with more game than the next man. Call T, Bingo, 2 man, and shit lizane.
Have you ever heard about the fools on the store block?
23rd Hill, that's where we like to chill.
Have you ever heard about the fools on the store block?
23rd Hill, that's where we like to chill.
Have you ever heard about the fools on the store block?
23rd Hill, that's where we like to chill.
Have you ever heard about the fools on the store block?
23rd Hill, that's where we like to chill.
For 95 it's on the poppin', so I'm putting in work. I'm known for mashing on these busters and pulling up skirts.
I hold it on the wall while I pull a Newport, checking on the little honeys in their biker shorts. That's the way it is when you're fucking with me. It's little T-Top from the CPT.
All these gold digging thugs get you caught up in ditches. But since I'm called T, you know I'd rather stack my wrist.
Because I've seen the premonition of the future. I got some gangsteristic minutes lyrics that'll suit you. So if you on the road, then it ain't no thing. Took the Mac, got the sack, and ain't a damn thing changed. Chaos is in the back with the gin and juice. All the ladies in the party asking, what can I do for you? 2 men to call T, they got the blood straight flowing. We gather in the circle, get a freestyle going. Yeah.
Have you ever heard about the fools on the store block?
23rd Hill, that's where we like to chill.
Have you ever heard about the fools on the store block?
23rd Hill, that's where we like to chill.
Started bodybuilding back in 1989, like December 1989. I was just finished my training with the Arlington Police Department, and I was doing my field training, which is when you have an officer ride around with you. And one of the officers happened to see me one day on the streets, and he was working at this gym called Metroplex. And he asked me to come over to the gym and work out, because at the time I was just working out at the police station. So I went over to the gym, and as soon as I walked in the door, a guy by the name of Brian Dobson, who was the owner of the gym, told me I needed to be bodybuilding because he thought that I could be a great champion and probably could do pretty good in the sport. At the time, I was just hired on with the police department. I didn't know too much about bodybuilding, and all I knew was they had to take steroids and pretty much, and had to go on a strict diet, and I didn't want to do either at the time. But Brian insisted and stayed consistently after me, asking me, every time I showed up at the gym to do a bodybuilding contest. I kind of still said no, but he told me that if he gave me a free membership, would I do it? And as soon as he said he'd give me a free membership, I told him, okay, I'd do it for a free membership. So that was December of '89. The first contest was going to be coming around was April of 1990. So I started getting ready for this bodybuilding contest in January. And, first show was, like I said, April of 1990, and pretty much won that show. And ever since then, I've been into the sport. But that's pretty much a real brief synopsis of how I got into the sport, though. First show I competed in was AAU Amateur Mr. Texas, and it was a novice show. And back then, all the novice shows and most of the AAU shows, they went by height, and they didn't go by weight. So my height was 5'11", and they had what they call a short class, a medium class, and a tall class. Of course, with my height, I was in pretty much the tall class, which is the same thing in NPC, which would be the heavyweight class. And I won first place in the overall in my first contest. The next show I competed in the following week was the NPC show, and it was on like April 14th, 1990, and it was called NPC Metroplex Classic. And in that show, I also won first place and overall. And from that time on, now, mostly all the shows I did after that were all in pretty much the NPC. I won Universe, 91 Mr. Universe. It was in Coleman. It was an IFBB show. And they didn't have an overall. You just win your weight class, and all weight class winners turn pro. I won a Universe, I was 212 pounds. My first pro show was in May of 1992. So the very next year was my first pro show. And didn't do too good. I placed 11th. Back then my weight was 212. Back then was almost 6-7 years ago. In between that time I put on about a good 35 pounds of muscle. And my current weight is what I compete at now. My last contest was 255, which was the Mr. Olympia show contest. So I've progressed quite a bit along the way and throughout the years. Basically, I have 2 workouts that I do for each week. So basically, the video will probably be in 2 parts because this part 1 is just my first workout. But I do this workout twice a week because if I do legs on Monday, I probably won't do them again until Thursday. But there'll be 2 totally different workouts. If I do squats on Monday, on Thursday, I'll probably do something like front squats. So I think that with the first workout that we did, I think we did squats. I always start out with a warm-up on squats, 20 reps with 135. And I progress all the way up to either 405 or 495. And I keep my reps around at least around the 12 to 15 range. So if I do 20 in the first rep, the second set, not the second rep, but the second set is probably going to be 225, and I always pyramid up in just about everything I do. I do 225 for another 15 reps, then I go 315 for 15 reps. Then I'll probably go 405 for 12 to 15, depending on how I feel that day. I do either 12 reps or 15 reps. Immediately following that, normally I'll go probably to the hack squat after I do just the regular squat. And on hack squat, I'll just start out with 2 plates, and then everything is done in plates because I really don't know how much the weight is with the machine on hack squat. So I do 2 plates for like 15 reps, 3 plates, 15 reps, 4 plates, 12 to 15, and if I'm feeling good, I may go up to 5 plates for about the same 12 to 15 reps. And I really don't warm up on that because I feel like I'm pretty much warmed up already. So what I do is just go immediately into after my squats, I go immediately into 2 plates, and I count it as a set. When I finish with my hack squats, I normally go to leg extensions. And here with leg extensions, I feel that's just pretty much a sculpted movement. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much kind of hard build your legs up doing leg extension, because all you're pretty much doing is just pretty much just getting a good contraction when you extend your legs. So I always do a bunch of reps on leg extensions, and it's always been like 3 sets for 30 reps. Sometimes I may change it up. I may do 3 sets, and I may do what I call drop sets. Probably start out with 150 pounds for about 20 reps, then go to 110 pounds for about another 15 reps. Then I might drop it down to maybe 80 or 90. Again, here doing probably about 20 to 25 reps. But immediately after that, I always go to a hamstring. And basically for hamstring, I always do basically just 2 exercises. And on this day, I think we did leg curls, and I always do the standing leg curl. Basically, I do probably about 65 pounds, 55 pounds for 15 reps on each leg. I do 4 sets of those. I think I also did stiff-legged deadlift. I kind of like pyramid up on these. I probably start out with maybe 1 plate and go all the way up to 2 plates. I'm probably doing from like 12 to 15 reps on this also. And basically, I just do 4 sets. And normally, that's pretty much it for a leg day.
Break your neck out with all that big man. There you go. Get that leg. There you go.
Only carb meal of the day. 50 grams of good old oatmeal. Don't get no better than this.
Squeeze out and squeeze out. There you go.
Like that?
Beautiful. Fortune right. There you go. Squeeze those knees out. Squeeze those knees out hard. Don't lean on that. There you go. That's it. That's there. Almost like you're testing your butt. That. There. Ooh. There you go. There you go. See that?
Yeah.
See that? Ooh. See that? Not to distribute your weight evenly like that. Put your weight here. On your foot. Twist your knees out. feel that?
Yeah.
All I'm doing is pushing my hips back like that. I'm not sticking my butt out. I'm not going like this. I'm tensing out like that. As hard as I can. Yep, there you go. There you go. Yeah. That's hard.
As far as using other people to help me, I'm one that firmly believe in, hey, you never can stop learning. You can always learn. And I always listen to other people. I always keep an open mind. You can only make yourself better by doing that. People don't become smart just by just thinking to themselves that, hey, I'm smart because I'm just smart. You become smart because you listen to other people teach you what you need to know. And the only way for me to know what I need to know is by listening to other people. And I listen to other people when they tell me, hey, you need to work on your posing, or you need to work on the way you stand. You need to work on your training. When I say that, like my calves, when people tell me, I need to get my calves big, I listen to all of that kind of stuff, and I go out and I put 100% in everything I do, because I figure like this: I'm not in this just to be doing something. I want to be the best at whatever I do, even if I don't win all the time. As long as I know that I did my best, I put my all into it, and I gave it my all, I'm satisfied. So that's why when somebody tells me that, hey, you need to work on this, I always keep an open mind, and I go out and I work on it, and I try to become better at it.
The real gym here. No air conditioning, 100-degree heat, number weight, and music. Can you hang?
Today we did start out with bent over rows, and basically I always do pyramid up on this also. Start out with 135 pounds, do 135 for about 15 to 20 reps, using good form. Next set is 225 for about 12 to 15 reps. Next two sets are probably going to be like 315 for like 12 reps on each one of those. And normally it all depends. If I feel good, I may go up to 4 or 5. But after this, went to one of my favorite exercises. We call them. They call it T-bar rolls, but we call them like T-bar rolls in the corner, because we do a little bit something different from the standard T-bar roll. We just set the bar down in the corner up against the wall and elevate ourselves up on 100-pound plates and do them that way, and that's way it's all free and no pulley or nothing hooked up to it. It's almost like doing dumbbell curls or barbell curls, where you're just standing there using all your strength and not relying on that pulley to help you go down and come back up. So and like I said, this is like one of those old freestyle weights of lifting that I've pretty much been doing all my life, and that's the way I kind of like staying with these, because these are hardcore exercises, which if you're doing them yourself. There's nothing there to help and support you. On this exercise, start out with just to get me, since I'm already semi-warmed up, I start out with like 3 plates. Did 15 reps for the first set. Second set, went all the way up to 6 plates, and I think I stayed at 15 reps on this set. Okay, the last couple sets, getting a little bit heavier. Put 7 plates on there, and ruled out 10 hard, very hard reps, and on the last set here, I'm doing eight plates for 8 hard, grueling reps. But you know, still my form is good, and I'm still doing peak contractions when I go down and when I come back up. Now, normally on this exercise, I'm doing about 10 to 12, you know, a little bit easier reps. But like I said, I'm still kind of depleted stage. My body hadn't fully recovered, and it's not fully rested from the grueling trip that I've been on lately. So here I was only able to get 8 on this day, where I normally get at least 10 to 12. I mean, they're not real easy, but I can get 10 to 12 and not have as much problem as I did with doing just 8 reps. And next exercise we did just a regular rowing exercise, seated rows exercise. And here I always start out with about 200 pounds on this one, and get at least 15 reps, 3 sets here. I'm doing like 3 sets of 15 with about 200 pounds. And normally, you know, I may go up with our whole stack on this. But like I said, I'm still in a depleted state, so I just stayed at 200 and stayed around 12 to 15 reps, and finished that exercise up and went straight into pull down behind the neck. Here I'm also doing about 12 to 15 reps, 3 sets. You know, basically what I'm thinking about here is the feel when I pull down. I just want to feel a muscle contracted in my back, and when I go all the way up, I want to get that full stretch on the muscle. And you know, you might say I'm trying to stretch it out as far as I can, and to get that back as wide as I possibly can. That'll pretty much do it for back. And basically, next I go straight into biceps. There's a myth on my biceps, and people think I work them all the time because you know they're 23 inches. But it's like one of those body parts that grows wild on everybody. And with me, it's always been my arms. No matter how much I work them, and no matter how less I work them, they're still going to grow and they're still going to be big. At one point in my life, I did get kind of carried away with the biceps, because you know that's all people will see when you're walking around. All the time you either got on a nice pair of jeans, or if you go into a club, a nice pair of slacks. Your arms are always pretty much uncovered, and that's the first thing that people always saw on me. And they always ask me, you know, how you get your arms so big, and why your arms so big, and the stupidest question I get is, do you work out? But as far as arms go, no, I don't train them like 5 times a week. I don't train them 3 times a week. I don't even train arms twice a week. If I'm lucky, I train arms once a week now. Arms, I start out, did 21s, did 3 sets of 21s. Here I'm thinking about the peak contraction. I'm thinking about full concentration of the bicep flexion when I go up and come down. Here again, thinking about pumping my arms up. That's why I do like 21 reps. It's real quick. It's real easy. It's a good exercise for the arms, because you're getting a good pump on your peaks of your biceps, and you know that's the most important part of your biceps, the peak. So I normally do like 3 sets of these, 21 reps, 7, 7, and 7, 7 on the top, 7 on the bottom, and 7 full. And my next exercise I go into, it's just pretty much the old dumbbell curl, seated dumbbell curl. It's been around forever. It's real simple. You just sitting. I'm just sitting, just doing the same thing I was doing. Standing. I'm doing peak contractions. Trying to feel that muscle as I curl it up there. I'm also concentrating on getting a real nice round peak on my on the bicep. I'm also trying to do slow and very controlled movements on this exercise. Here again, I'm probably doing about I do about 10 to 12 reps on this exercise. And again, you know, with me, I'm not really that concerned about trying to go real heavy here. As you see, I'm doing just 35 pounds. I'm not doing 60. I'm not doing 70. You know, it's not about how much weight I can do or nothing like that. So that's why I'm doing the 35 pounds. That's why I'm doing 10 to 12 reps. So once I finish these three sets, I go on to my favorite bicep movement, which I feel is the best peak builder in the world, and there's nothing else that pretty much compares with it. I exercise on the cable crossover. Instead of crossing over with the cable, I'm just standing there doing curls, bicep curls, just standing there. As you notice, as I do this, they're real slow and controlled movements. I'm letting the weight go all the way to the stack, pretty much to the bottom of the stack. I'm fully extending my arms as I go down. And when I come up, I'm pretty much touching my ear or touching slow, controlled movements. I'm trying to get peak contraction here, and I'm not doing a whole lot of weight either here. I'm only doing about 25 pounds. And here again, you know, the myth, you don't really have to do all that heavy weight if you're doing good, slow, controlled movements, with peak contraction. And that's the most important thing here, is not doing a lot of heavy weight for like 5 reps with bad form. It's doing a nice amount of weight, something that you can control, at least doing 10 to 12 reps with good slow movement and good contractions. So here again, I'm just doing 3 sets with 10, 12 reps. And that'll pretty much do it for me for the next couple of weeks. As far as biceps goes, so like I said, I really don't do a whole lot. And to me, it's just a simple movement. I'm quite sure everybody pretty much has a muscle on them that grows wild and grows very easy. And with me, mine just happens to be bicep, and it just happens to be a muscle that pretty much hangs out there where everybody can see it. So that's probably why, you know, I'm known for my biceps, and that'll pretty much do it.
How they say on the cartoon, dip, dip, dip. That's all, folks. That's all for today. Back and bicep.
I gotta wear this bulletproof vest. 100 degrees outside. This thing on 110. you lose about 5 pounds a day just sweating on that freeway, that pavement. It's even hotter out there. So you might get up to about 115 degrees.
442, 450. 432, confirming Tom, John, Mary, 58, Robert.
Well, I kept my job as a police officer mainly because of the benefits that I get from my job. I get free medical, I get free dental, I get free life insurance, and all of these things that I just named off. None of that stuff comes from bodybuilding. But another one of the most important things that I also get from keeping my job with the police department is a retirement. And I can retire in 20 years and still have a check coming in from the police department. Whereas in bodybuilding, none of the things I just named you don't get. None of the benefits you don't get from it. So that's pretty much why I kept my job. And plus it allows for a great balance in my life. You know, I'm just not one-sided. I'm not just doing one thing. I'm also keeping myself busy, taking my mind off, you know, something like bodybuilding. You know, you might get tired. You might get stressed out from it, just thinking about if you're going to have enough money for this or enough for that. But also, if something happens to me, you know, I don't have to worry about that either. Or if I get hurt, seriously injured in bodybuilding, you know, I don't get a check from disability or from workers' comp. But, you know, with my job as a police officer, if something happens, I always do have that check coming in. So it takes a lot of stress off you, and it gives you that balance. That's pretty much why I kept my job, and I always keep it. The hardest thing for me maintaining both my jobs is the mental thing, and mentally I've always been a strong person, and you know it's a decision that I made myself. So I'm constantly aware that hey, I'm gonna have to work 10 hours, you know, 4 days a week, putting in a full shift at my job, and I'm constantly always reminding myself that I'm going to have to do that. And when I say about the mental thing, that stressful part of my job is also a mental thing. I know it's going to be stressful. I know it's going to be a lot of things going on, like accidents, and I'm going to have to make arrests, and there's going to be suicides and murders. I know all of this is going to happen, so what I do is I tell myself that, hey, I made the decision to keep this job, and I'm going to have to go out there to do whatever it takes to keep it. So it's basically the mental approach that I take to my job is what makes me be able to do both of them, because believe me, it does get very, very difficult, and it is not easy at all doing both. But like I said, if you're mentally strong, which I believe I am, because I wouldn't be able to do both if I wasn't, then you could do both. So I just take the mental approach of, you know, I made the decision to do this. I know the stress involved, and I'm gonna just go out there and do whatever it takes to get the job done. Time for late night snack. Looks like a lot. Put it on the scale. This is chicken tenders, about 2 days worth, and that's turkey, about another 2 days worth. So all together, all that food is 2 days worth. That's measured out in 12 ounces. This is going to be measured out in about 14 ounces. I have to eat on the run, working 10 hours a day. Food has to be pre-prepared. So you cook it all at one time and make it last 2 or 3 days. That way, every time I come home, my food is ready, because I don't have time to cook. 16. Well, one time on the chicken and 3 times on the turkey. Yeah, 4 pounds a day. Plus another 8 for breakfast. 8 ounces for breakfast. So it's like 4.5, almost 5.
Okay, everybody, this is Brian Donson. Brian is the guy that got me into bodybuilding about 7, 8 years ago. A friend of mine brought me to this gym. Brian was the guy that told me I needed to be bodybuilding. At the time, I just started working for the police department, and I didn't want to do it. Brian was insistent upon me bodybuilding, told me that I could do good in the sport. Finally told me that he'd give me a free membership, and I said, oh, what the heck. Only, was he there teaching me how to pose and how to dive, but he also gave me a lot of confidence, backing me up 100%, telling me that I could make it in this sport. And as you can see, Brian himself is a top amateur bodybuilder around here in the Metroplex. And as a matter of fact, he's doing a contest today, and then 9 times out of 10, he'll win that show.
What's up, sir?
And Brian has been bodybuilding for about 20 years, so he has all the expertise, and he knows what it takes to be a professional bodybuilder, because I'm one. He one that got me where I am today, so he's truly, indeed, a great inspiration for all the people that comes around here. All right, everybody, here we go again. Here's my 2 lifetime workout partners. On my left here is Curtis Fell. He's been with me since I started. On my right here is Augustus Carter. He's also been with me since I started. These 2 guys that helped me pack on that 35, 40 pounds of mass over the last 8 years. Don't forget about my sweetie pie here. Miss Big Gate. She's my biggest inspiration of them all. She's here with me every single day, every hour of the day, sometimes in the gym, and she's always here. You know how women are. She's very supportive. She's my #1 inspiration. Probably couldn't do it without her.
As far as chest goes, I got 2 workouts I normally do for chest. Got a dumbbell workout, got a barbell workout. You got to hold that weight up, bring it down, and everything else. You got to balance it out. That pretty much what makes it so heavy. That's the difference between the dumbbell and the barbell. The bar pretty much balances itself out. I mean, once you get it up there, it pretty much balances itself out. But with a dumbbell, once you get it up there, you got to balance it out yourself. And while you're balancing out, that requires more strength, and that requires more muscle contraction from you. So I feel that this is another one of my secret workouts here. And incline builds the upper chest. And for me, I've always felt that I needed more upper chest. My first exercise I'm going to do is incline dumbbell. I'm going to start out with about warm up, probably about 80 pounds. Do a good, nice, clean 20 reps. The next set, we're going up to 120s for 15 reps. The next set, here I'm going to do 130s for about 12 reps. And the last one is going to be 140 for about, same here, 10 to 12 reps. Once I finish this exercise, I got a pretty massive pump going here. So I'm going to next go right into flat dumbbell bench. And here I'm not going to do a warm-up or anything. I'm going to just go straight into 120. And I always do pretty much about 3 sets. I'm doing 120 for 15 reps. Next, I'm doing 130 for also 15 reps. The last set, I'm doing 140, probably at 12 reps here. And sometimes if I'm feeling real good, I may go up to 160. My next exercise is going to be decline 120s for about 12 to 15 reps. And I'm going to do like 3 sets of that. After that, I'm going to move straight into flies. Here I'm going to do 80 pounds for about 12 to 15 reps. I'm pretty much going to do 3 sets here, do 80 for 12 on the first set. Second set, I'm going to go on up to 90 and do 90 for about 10 reps. And third set is also going to be 90 for about 10 reps here also. That'll pretty much be it for my chest. I move straight into shoulders. It's a lateral seated press machine. Start out doing 15 laterals, then move straight into the presses and do 15 there. And right here I'll do 3 sets of 15 and 15 on both of these. My next exercise, front raises. Here I'll probably do like 35 pounds. I do alternating, probably about 12 reps here. I try not to go higher than my head. Here I'm going to do 12 reps on each arm. I'm going to do 3 sets of that. Once I finish that, my next exercise I'm going to do raises with the barbell, 12 to 15 reps on all 3 sets. After I finish doing this, I'm going to go straight into triceps, with the first exercise being tricep push down. I'm going to be doing the first set, 20 reps, real lightweight, probably about 100 pounds. Also here, I pretty much use the same philosophy throughout all of my workouts. I'm not really concerned about how much weight I can do, and because when you're on stage, the judges are also not concerned about how much weight you do. They're pretty much concerned about how much quality muscle you got on your body and how good your symmetry and definition is. As soon as I finish that, I'll go straight into like a dip machine. I'm doing 2 plates here for 12 to 15 reps, 3 sets, slow and controlled movements again. As soon as I finish that, I'm going to be going into, we call them skull crushers, because it seems like you're going to crush a skull when you come down, but really it's just called lying tricep extensions. Here I'm going to be doing about 125 pounds. The first 15 reps, I'm lying down, I'm bringing the bar all the way down past my head. I'm going up as high as I possibly can. On the second set of reps, I'm bringing the bar down to my chest and going all the way up, extending it out. You also call it a close grip bench press. It's pretty much the same thing, but you're not doing bench press. You're doing lying tricep extensions here. So it's not a bench press. It's just a close grip like type movement, whereas I'm coming down to my chest and extending all the way up. And pretty much after I finish this exercise, I do it the same way I do all exercises, slow control movements, trying to get peak contraction. I'm not using a whole lot of weight. I'm doing enough weight just where I can, feel the muscle and get a good movement, slow control movement, where I can get a good peak contraction on it. And once I finish this exercise, pretty much the end of the workout. I was able to make my progress basically through just a lot of hard workouts. I mean, to be honest with you, there's nothing real complicated about putting on muscle mass. With me, I've always worked out hard, and I've always been consistent. I think the key to me putting on as much size as I did had a lot to do with my diet. I didn't know growing up as a kid that protein built muscle. I actually didn't find this out until I started bodybuilding. The difference between now and back during my college days or when I was coming up, I ate a lot of pizza, hamburgers, french fries, and all those open calorie foods. I never got fat or anything, but I was always pretty muscular, but I wasn't in the process of building muscle because I didn't eat a lot of protein, which is what builds muscle. Once I found that out, and once I started bodybuilding, I pretty much increased my protein from like maybe 200 grams a day to about 500 grams a day, and also my workouts. I always stay consistent. I work out. My workouts are 6 days on and 1 day off, and I do some hard, grueling workouts. I'm not in there playing around. I'm nothing playful. When I go in the gym, it's just like I'm at work, or it's like I'm doing a job. So I stay real focused while I'm in the gym, and I train extremely hard. As far as my poundages go, I mean, for me, 400 pounds on the bench, you know, for about 12 or 15 reps may be kind of heavy for somebody else, but for me, it's really not that heavy. What I try to do when I'm in the gym is use a heavy weight and at the same time do a number of reps from at least 10 all the way upwards to about maybe 20 on some sets. Basically, the 20 is on a warm-up set. What I want to do is get good peak contraction going up, going down. I also concentrate a lot as far as the muscle goes. I concentrate on the contraction of the muscle during my workouts. So I've always kept my weight heavy and my reps pretty high, and at the same time, I've always, focused on contracting the muscle and making sure I feel what I'm working. Like, for example, if I'm working biceps, I want to feel my bicep contracting when I go down and come back up. So that's pretty much has allowed me to be able to grow the muscle over the past 6 or 7 years by just going in the gym, getting a good workout in, and also the diet, increasing my protein from like 200 grams to almost 500 grams a day. So that's how I was pretty much able to gain, to like 35 pounds over the last 6 years. I mean, you say 35 pounds, it may not sound like a lot, but it's not all in what the sound is, it's the quality. And see, that's where I've been able to overcome, as far as putting on like maybe 50 or 60 pounds and not a lot of quality. When I say quality, I mean the muscle that I put on, it looks good and it's with my symmetry. So and it's all a lot of pure hard muscle, and this is, I mean, my body fat never gets over 5%, no matter what I do, what I eat, because of my genetics. So, the weight progression, pretty much, it came in quality and not a big quantity, and that's the most important part of the sport of bodybuilding. And my placings has also went up. I started out placing 11th in shows, and now those same shows that I placed 11th in, I'm winning them.
Yeah. Mr. Kevin Maroney, he's in the house. Yeah, baby. You my baby? Yeah. Man, I was knocked out. What? What's up, baby? Okay, my mom's sitting right here on the sofa. This has been, everybody wondering where I get my genetics from. I definitely didn't get them from my dad. I got them straight from my mom. As you can tell, but she getting ready to go to work, so she ain't going to start hitting no double biceps.
I give you one little bicep.
And this is my sister, Tina Thomas. And we got one more family member, my brother, but he's not here. Tina's 20.
I'm 27.
27.
I'm a registered nurse.
She's a registered nurse.
That's like a pussy. You gotta make this.
Out of power. Just like me. Powerful. Okay. Here's all my toys. Truck, motorcycle in the back, car in the front. Of course, probably can't see the motorcycle because it's behind the car, but it's back. The car is 5.7 liters, 345 horsepower, 175 top speed. Motorcycle is about 150 horsepower, top speed 180. And the truck is just a cruiser. Something to slow me down. And that's pretty much it.